Hi lads, welcome back. This is a video that I didn't think I was going to be able to make because I had a vertigo attack on Saturday. This is Monday. Saturday morning. I'm getting straight into this now. I had a vertigo attack on Saturday morning. I'll go into all the details, but before we do that, I'm trying to keep my life going as normal. And you notice my head movements are not as fluid as they would be normally. I could just liken it to walking around with a glass of water on your head. Not quite that bad now. It's improved a lot, but it's still not 100%. So we're going to go and get this thing cleaned. Harry complained to me this morning going to school that he didn't say he was ashamed of it, but he more or less said that. He said, "Daddy, please clean the car," because the inside is worse than the outside. And that's the way I could describe myself. The inside is worse than the outside. I don't feel too bad, but on Saturday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was no way to feel. Listen, I'll join you at the car wash. You see, I need to get the car cleaned. I can't even do that. I need to get the car washed anyway. But because of the fact that I'm suffering with this, I'm pushing myself to lead a normal life as possible. Because the last thing I want to do is confine myself, and curtail myself because of this. It's not going to stop me. Okay, so now I'm at the car wash, and I can tell you, doing normal things helps alleviate this feeling. It really is a horrible feeling. If you haven't experienced vertigo in your life, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I'll go to somewhere less noisy. Well, there's nowhere to go that's less noisy. But anyway, hang on a sec. There's absolutely no footpath here, so I'm literally standing on the side of the road doing this. Let this lady pass by. Right. Yeah. I'll go into a bit of detail if you want to know about this. It's affected my life. I've had to stop drinking. On Saturday morning, I was up in Pontootinee. We slept over the night. We usually do. I'll do this because it's very noisy. On Saturday morning, I woke up in Pontootinee about 4 a.m. and I was fine, and I turned my head, and all of a sudden it was just like it was just spinning. If any of you remember Joe 90, if you're old enough like me to remember Joe 90, that kind of spinning. And if you don't know who Joe 90 is, go to YouTube and key in Joe 90 and you know what I'm talking about. My head was spinning, absolutely spinning, and I got up out of the bed to go to the bathroom, and I was literally like this. I couldn't get my I couldn't get my feet. I couldn't get my standing. So I went into the bathroom. I urinated. I did what I had to do while standing up, like, and I put my hand on the wall in front of me to support me, and I noticed I started coming back to a degree of normality. Then turned round to exit the bathroom, and I was not as bad, but pretty bad, and I fell back asleep. Woke up probably 7 o'clock and got out of bed, and for the whole day, it got gradually better, but it was like, as I said, I don't know if I said it earlier on, walking around with a glass of water on your head. You see, about 15 years ago, the same thing happened to me, only 1,000 times worse. I was back home in Dublin at the time. Just a normal morning, woke up, winter's morning, and it was the worst experience of my life, the worst experience of my life. I got up and I stood up, and I was literally like a 10-point earthquake on the Richter scale. It was just incredible. I couldn't stand up. It was like I was being thrown, like like the Star Trek, the original Star Trek. Warp Factor 5, Mr. Sulu, when they started going like this. That's what it was like full time. And that particular day, I had to go to work, and I couldn't walk down the street, but I did. But I was holding onto walls and stuff like that. I remember getting onto a bus. It took me about a minute, imagine 1 solid minute, to get onto the bus, and everyone thought I was drunk. Went to the doctor. I'll move away from this noise, hang on. But I went to the doctor that day when I finished work about 4:30, and I'd recovered to a degree, but still all over the place. And he just told me, there's a couple of types of vertigo, but whatever one it is, and I did some research on this, but just some of you will probably know better than I do. It begins with B, BVS or something, I don't know. But there's a crystal in the inner ear. And there's a maneuver you can do that I didn't know about at the time, but if it is that kind of vertigo, there's a crystal in the inner ear that's stuck in the fluid. And if you do some head maneuvers and stuff like that, you can dislodge it and you're back to normal. But you see, I didn't know that at that time, but he told me that I would get back to normal gradually, and that's exactly what happened. Over the course of a couple of months, things gradually got back to normal. But it never was fully normal, because for the past 15 years since then, I haven't been able to raise my head. It was a plane flying overhead. I haven't been able to raise my head without feeling dizzy, and I haven't been able to lie in a bed without 2 pillows, or a very substantial pillow. So the way I feel today is, I'm going to walk over there and walk back, and I'm going to explain it to you. Hang on. It feels normal walking there. It feels a little bit dodge walking back. You see, one of the things about this bloody vertigo is that indoors it's less noticeable, because there's less points, there's more points to focus on. It's to do with your eyes as well, you see. And outdoors you can go bloody haywire, especially with moving cars and stuff like that. Now, thank God that I'm not affected like that. I would say I'm probably at this stage, I would say 97% back to normal. But I have a funny feeling that this vertigo was induced by alcohol, and the alcohol in question, not that it's any fault of that alcohol, it's a fault of me, but the alcohol in question is the Bulldog London Dry Gin that I bought at the weekend. I drank 3/4 of a bottle of that on Friday night. I drank 3/4 of a bottle of Bulldog London Dry Gin on Friday night, and I woke up with the mother of a vertigo attack. So I googled all this, and apparently alcohol can damage consumption of alcohol can damage the fluid in your ear permanently. And that frightened the life out of me, because the last thing you want is to be walking around like Captain Kirk on the bridge when they're being attacked by whoever they were being attacked by, and the whole thing is going from side to side, because that's what it's like. So I'll never say I'm not going to drink again, but until I feel 110%, I'm not going to drink again. And it's hard for me to say that, because I'm Irish and drink is part of the culture. I've often said this: pubs to Ireland are what pubs to Ireland are what restaurants are to Thailand, and that's a fact. That's an absolute fact. If you took restaurants out of Thailand, Thailand would lose its culture, lose its appeal. You took pubs out of Ireland, it's exactly the same thing, because there is a pub culture in Ireland. And if I was to say I'm going to give up the drink in Ireland, and there's plenty of people in Ireland who don't drink, of course there are, but for me it wouldn't be a runner, because you'd be a social outcast. At least here it's not so bad. But I am going to stay off the drink for as long as I possibly can, because this thing is something you wouldn't wish. I know it's easy to say this. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. Anyway, I'm going to wait for this car to be cleaned, to be washed, and then we'll do something else. But I can tell you, I am so lucky. I consider myself so lucky to be standing here today. That's the danger. And I've said this before, the vulnerability, anything can happen to you. Anything can happen to you, especially at our age. When I say our age, you know what I mean, 50s, 60s. These are the vast majority, the vast majority of people watching this video are of a similar vintage to me. And that vertigo attack on Saturday morning, I'd say I'm 90% sure it was induced by alcohol. But let's say it wasn't. Let's say it was something else. Let's say it was something more serious, a lot more serious. Something up here. Where would you be? Where would I be today? It doesn't bear thinking about. It really doesn't, lads. Enjoy your life while you can. Enjoy every bloody minute of it. I'd be the first one to say this. That car is in a very bad state. I would say probably it's in a worse. It was in a worse state than me. And I wouldn't have come down here, because I hate coming down here, because it just takes so much time out of your day. Well, today it's not so busy, so it's not so bad. But you could spend 2 hours waiting here on a busy day. But it gives me a sense of achievement. It really does. That I've managed. And when things go wrong, like you always say, when you're well, you're well. But when you're not well, it feels like your daily tasks are a mountain to climb. Now, I wouldn't say this is a mountain to climb, obviously not, but it just it's given me an appreciation for life. It takes stuff like this for that to happen, doesn't it? It's a bit later, it looks like they're finished. That's a complete valid, by the way. They even do the tyres, they do the whole shooting match. It's a great old job. I hate when they put the paper in the footwell though. I think they know by now, because I always tell them to take it out, because I hate things under my feet when I'm driving. Hang on, I'll check. Said yang? Okay, alright, up. Yeah, they put the bloody paper in the footwell. God damn, I don't mind it in the passenger footwell, I don't have to sit there. Okay. My own, okay. I need my own. Okay, thank you. Scan okay? 240. Bad now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so that job is done. Feeling pretty good. But you never want to count your chickens. So what will I do now? I think I'll go and grab something to eat, a bite to eat. That'll be on the cards, I think. And I know I said in my last video about, branching off to make a food channel. Some people say it's a great idea. Some people say it's not a great idea. I won't base a decision based on the feedback from one particular video. I'll just see how it is over time. But for the moment, we keep the food on this channel, because I am starving and I'm feeling a lot better. I really am. It's not something you would want, I swear to God. Oh, by the way, when you say you're feeling better from vertigo, you never know. You could turn your head, you can go off again. You just never know. Okay, so here we are. And this is a new place. Well, it's not a new place. It is a new place. This is Fortune Town in Rashida. A lot of guys ask me to name the places I go to, and I'm sorry they haven't done so in the past. This is Fortune Town in Rashida, and we're on in the basement, and it's lunchtime on a Monday. It's 11:45, and the place is buzzing, absolutely buzzing. I've gone for Korean pork with rice, a little bit of kibosh there, as we say in Gaelic, cabbage. There it is there, Korean pork with rice. Doesn't look too exciting, but it's a star on the menu. I want to get something to drink. Hang on a sec. Give me a Coke, look. So it's 69 for the food and 22 for the cola. It's Coke, by the way, I think, or is it? No, it's Pepsi. Pepsi. Anyway, I've started to feel normal again. I'd say 99%. And this is Monday morning, and that vertigo attack was on Saturday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, as I said. And some fellas say I repeat myself in my videos, and I apologise if I do, but it's just to reiterate the fact. See, when I change scenes, I kind of forget what I said in the previous scene sometimes, or I forget that I've already said something in the previous scene. But I really wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And if you're a drinker like me, let me just taste this first. If you're a drinker like me, and I am by no means a heavy drinker. A lot of people get the idea that I drink to excess or I'm an alcoholic. I'm not. I don't even miss the stuff. But I like doing it. I really enjoy doing it. It's part of my life. It's part of my life in Thailand. It's part of my life in Paptutani. God damn, I couldn't imagine living there without being able to drink. Jesus Christ almighty. Wonderful place and all the rest of it. Hang on, let's see what this is like. This is a star something on the menu, but it's very dry. It's okay. I don't know why it's a star on the menu. Oh well. The cabbage is done to perfection. If you could ever say that about cabbage. The pork is just pork. It's wonderful. Well, you see, I'm sharing this with you because I live my life on YouTube. And this is a big part of my life. My health is critical. It's crucial, obviously. And sitting here today is something that I cherish because at 4 o'clock on Saturday morning, I was gone. I didn't know how long it was going to last. I didn't know, because it can last for months. This kind of thing can last for bloody months, lads. And if it does, you're snookered. And you're especially snookered here. If any of you have experience with alcohol-induced vertigo. By the way, the first bout of vertigo I got, it wasn't alcohol-induced. Not that I remember anyway. But it was a lot more severe. And I am vulnerable. And you're vulnerable. The minute I said it to the missus, by the way, and I didn't say it to her until last night. Like, this happened to me on Saturday, and I said it to her on the Sunday evening. I just told her I was going for a walk because I just said, Hua is your head, my gang is no good. And the minute and I went like this, and then when she saw that, she knew what it was talking about. She said, drink, you drink too much. You know, learning about alcohol. See, I'm learning about alcohol because I'm suffering the ill effects of it. I never suffered from hangovers really in my life, but now I do. And it's so not worth it. It's so not worth it. But see, then again, the time will come, and I'm sitting here talking to you now about the traumatic weekend I've had. And I'm glad that I'm still here, and I'm glad that I'm able to do this, and I'm glad I'm feeling normal again. Or for the most part. But in 2 or 3 weeks' time, or a month from now, or even sooner, I could get the goo for a beer or a gin and tonic at the weekend, and off I bloody well go. And then if I wake up the next morning with the same scenario, and it's permanent. Just imagine. By the way, this kind of grows on you. It's called Korean pork with rice. I don't know what makes it Korean. Today was my test run of normality. And it's proven itself. I'm sitting at a table on my own. The place is full. You can't really see it. Maybe you see it behind me. It's full on both sides and in front of me. No one will sit at this table with me. And there's 8 seats at this table. And I'm sitting on one. Well, the one in front of me, they can't. So there's another 6 seats available. No one will sit down. Obviously because I'm making a video. but they won't be on camera. Thais are like that. They don't sit with the farang, not because of anything else other than they're shy. That's what I think. By the way, as you know, you can get vertigo without drinking. So I'm thinking to myself, this is the way my mind works. It's never happened to me with Gordon's gin or Gilby's gin or Bombay Sapphire or Charles House gin. I'm going through the ones that I've already had. The only time it's happened to me is with Bulldog. So could it be just Bulldog that causes this? And are all the other gins okay? I certainly hope so. But I will say to you, I thoroughly recommend Bulldog. It's bloody sensational. Bulldog London Dry Gin, that's what it is. There it is there. And listen lads, by the way, I want to thank you all for supporting me and buying me a coffee. It means so much to me. It really I genuinely mean that. It means so much to me. I wouldn't be bringing these videos if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be able to do the amount I do if it wasn't for you. And there your names are there. I'll lean over. And thanks again so much. If you'd like to help me out, you can scan the QR or click the link below. It really, it's a great benefit to me, and thank you so much indeed. Anyway. I'm going to finish this and I'll reconvene as soon as I do, because it's getting very, very crowded in here. That hit the spot. Wow. You know, making these videos and doing the food part of it, I've never drank as much Coke in my life, but it really does. It really does add to it. It's fantastic. I better get out of here and make space for some of these office workers. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I had a problem with another problem. Ghost typing on my phone. The phone started doing its own thing, and it just starts typing stuff, and it froze all the apps and did all kinds of things. So it was something to do with dust under the screen protector. So I took the screen protector off, and I have to go and get another one because I don't want to scratch the actual screen itself. And there's a wonderful lady that does that here for 150 baht. We might meet her. That's what I'll do. I'll introduce her to her. I'll make room for some of these kids, these office kids. So lads, I can't remember where she is, but there's oodles of places where I can get this done. There's a fella behind me, but the last time I asked, she did it, or has done it for 150 baht. But I think he quoted me a lot more. Let me just see. Company screen protector. Samsung SC21 21
21
ใช่ครับใช่เท่าไหร่
คุณจะเอาฟิล์มธรรมดาหรือว่า tempered glass
glass. Yeah, tempered glass. Yes, thank you. เท่าไหร่ครับ
เดี๋ยวเอาให้ดูนะ
Okay.
21 plus เขาดูตั้งค่าก็ได้
เท่าไหร่ครับ
400 บาทครับ
400
ใช่ครับ150
150ดีกว่า
อันนั้นคือno tempered glass นะพลาสติกนะ
Plastic, yeah, okay, that's okay. Okay, thank you. So the tempered glass is 400 baht, and then the cheaper plastic is 150. I prefer just to get the cheaper plastic. Tempered glass is only something more expensive to break. Thank you.
This one no tempered glass นะ
It's okay.
พลาสติกนะ
Okay.
FE
SE, sorry. Got the model number wrong. At this stage, after sitting down and getting back up again, I can still feel it a little bit. But it's so good to know that it's getting better.
ถ้า SE tempered glass. This one 190 baht. This one 250.
Okay, this an Idiqua, an Idiqua.
Idiqua,ครับ.
Okay. So he's got me to go for the tempered glass, 250 baht. I'll do that. Cash okay? Cash?
ครับ
Okay. You have to know what you're doing to put this tempered glass on a phone. You really do, because get the air bubbles out. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, we got ourselves sorted. So 250 baht and we got our tempered glass. Thank God for that. Okay, so job done. So making this video was for me just to prove the fact that I can function normally, doing the normal things I've been doing the normal things I did last week and the week before and the week before that, while having this worry, this cloud hanging over me, because your balance is so vulnerable once you've had a vertigo attack. It can just go like that. You can be just walking down the street and bang, off you go. It's terrifying. Anyway, I want to thank you for being there. I want to thank you for your support. And, you know, I mean this. I'm staying off the drink, or I was going to say gargle. We say gargle in Ireland. I'm staying off the gargle for the foreseeable future until this is completely gone. And I'll wean myself back on if I have to. But I might go so far as to not want to drink anymore, which would be, for me, that would be a good thing. I'm 62 this year. And, you know, drinking all my life was never an issue, but once it starts affecting you, it becomes an issue. So there you go. Anyway, lads, thanks again, and I'll see you again soon for another wonderful video.